Welcome to the second series of the day, everybody, for the Global Esports Cup. Of course, brought to you by GameShow. And this is gonna be Aspera going up against ESB. Aspera, they have a pretty decent standing so far. And if they win all of the rest of their games, they will be tied with Walrus Punch, now known as the Big Red Machine, I think it was. But, well, Aspera, first of all, they have to win. But of course, I'm Couchor, and I am gonna be joined by the Lyrical Gangster. Is that correct?
That is correct. You're going to be joined by me, Lyrical Gangster. We're going to call it that for now. Really excited about this one. I've seen both of these teams a good deal in these tournaments, and I've been really impressed by what I've seen. Aspera have come out with a lot of variety in their draft. They've been going for some drafts which have been very hyper aggressive, and other ones where they've been patient and taking their time and slowly whittling down their opponents with the Rat Dota. So interested to see what they go for this time around.
Yeah, I mean, Aspera, they must be the favorites coming into this particular matchup for sure, I think. Most of their players, they've been around for quite some time, and I believe like three of them have played together in a team for quite a long while as well, so definitely have the synergy mixed in from before already, but so far, Ogre was the first pick for ESB. As for Aspera, it's gonna be a Gyrocopter plus a Shadow Shaman, huh?
Very interesting. You know, the buffs that Shadow Shaman got were really pretty substantial, I feel like. You take a look at the changes to Shackle's max duration, 5 seconds, 60 damage per second, and that signaling up to a 300 damage nuke at level 1. Really, really impressive. I still think you max out Ether Shock, but depending upon the later game potential for Shadow Shaman has become a lot stronger. But that being said, Ogre Magi, no slouch himself, has all of that ridiculous base armor, the really high regen, and all across the board just this ridiculous tank. So I think that's a pretty strong start to the draft, and the Gyrocopter Shadow Shaman pretty good as well.
I mean, Shadow Shaman definitely a strong hero, maybe just don't see him as much, or at least most teams like prefer other heroes in the first phase of the draft, but definitely strong. But ESP, Witch Doctor will be the second pick for them, so with the Ogres, just innate tankiness with the massive armor that he has. Now Witch Doctor coming in with a possible Voodoo Restoration as well. They can go rather aggressive, maybe depending on what kind of a tri-lane core they get. Might even go for an aggressive tri-lane. As for Aspera, they ban out a Juggernaut. Juggernaut definitely could work. I mean, just having the built-in magic immunity for a certain period of time would be pretty nice against both the Rocket Barrage as well as Shadow Shaman's all abilities.
Yeah, and he got the buffs to Blade Fury. I don't know what the build is quite yet if you want to try and go back to the maxing that out. It does a lot of damage. I still think that stats on that hero is really, really good. But we also see the Clockwork band out as well as the Darkseer and then the Treant Protector. So a little bit of pocket picks here coming out from Aspera, trying a few new things. Apparently they feel comfortable in this matchup against ESB because they're willing to try a few things that you wouldn't normally see. I do like the Treant Protector pick though. If ESB are going aggressive, the living armor will certainly be a bonus in that early game.
Yeah, it's with a Treant Protector kind of the case that, first of all, of course, you can keep heroes alive, but if you can somehow halt the aggression of the enemy team so that they cannot just push towers down completely, the later it goes, the harder it kind of gets to be able to push those towers down. So if you can just keep them alive early, you're probably going to keep them alive for a really long time. So Treant is nice in that way. Plus, of course, there is the synergy of having the overgrowth, keeping people in the cooldown, and of course the Mass Serpent wards can just get extra uptime then as well.
Yeah, totally. And I think that, that's a piece of his kit which isn't often thought about because I think that obviously it has a huge team fight potential in the late game, but it doesn't deal a heck of a lot of damage it doesn't deal any damage at all until you end up getting the Aghanim Scepter for it. But it's just that very good lockdown, 4.5 seconds root. And, against heroes like Queen of Pain, which has already been banned out, or an Anti-Mage, that can be really devastating. And even against other heroes, like you mentioned, in the middle of that cooldown. So we'll see how that ends up going. It also is pretty good for being able to deal with the Witch Doctor ulti as well. And Batrider is going to be coming around. I really like this hero. I'm curious to see how he ends up turning out. I think the changes to Flame Break really make him a lot stronger because you don't necessarily have to try and kill people with Firefly now and get right up in their face. You can still do a lot of damage from a distance with Flame Break.
Well, that is certainly true, but what do you see as their like fourth or fifth hero? Could they go for, let's say, a Lina mid lane, for example? It is still in the pool, definitely a strong hero, and maybe they could use the burst to actually blow up the target that they lasso.
That's certainly a possibility. They don't have a lot of burst as it is right now. The Witch Doctor ulti did get a pretty nice buff as well, so it deals the 150 damage that you got before the Aghanim Scepter at level 3, but it's still a really long way to get to level 16 as the Witch Doctor. So they do have some amount of burst, not a lot. I would like to see more of it. And as well with this Legion Commander pick, it might be helpful. The Legion pick actually might be a little bit difficult for ESB to deal with just because a lot of their team fight stuff is built around being able to sort of keep somebody in one area and control them a little bit more. And if Legion Commander jumps in and duels a Batrider when he's trying to take somebody away, it just completely nullifies his hero a little bit.
Yeah, it's just Legion Commander, first of all, he can jump in and duel Batrider, plus just using press the attack can do more or less the same or even be better in certain situations. But ESB going for an Ember Spirit instead, and it must not be a mid lane Ember Spirit. It can also go into the safe lane, maybe even an aggressive tri lane or so, but how would you like to see the Ember Spirit played?
I think that probably with this lineup, it's tough to tell. I think that you could run Batrider. It depends on if Press the Attack actually purges Sticky Napalm, which I think it does. So if that's the case, then I think that probably you have to run the Ember Spirit mid, because I don't think Batrider can handle it unless they bring another hero over and it's an off-lane bat. Probably it will be an off-lane bat, which makes sense. So probably safe lane Ember Spirit and then pick another mid that can deal well with Legion Commander. Like you said, the Lina's still in the pool. We do see the Razor and the Viper band out at this point in time. But Aspera here with their last pick, I think that they're going to need... I'm assuming this Legion is mid. That's the main place I've been seeing her run. She can also go off lane, but I would think that they might need another maybe team fight ulti here out of Aspera for the off lane role. Maybe something like a Tide Hunter could be okay, maybe, possibly.
Oh, I mean, I'm not too sure how it would work out, but I would love to see that hero in general, just because you don't see him all that much these days. Of course, I guess most people can be a little bit tired of Tide Hunter because he used to be just crazy popular during some period, but it would be pretty nice for Aspera even, just getting even more mass team fight. But do you feel do they need more lockdown in general? I mean, at the moment they have Shadow Shaman with the double disables, the Hex and the Shackle, of course. Legion Commander with the duel. Maybe Gyrocopter with the homing missile, but up against the Ember Spirit, maybe not the greatest because he can just dodge it if he plays it correctly.
It's tough, you know, you really need to be able to lock down that Ember Spirit, otherwise he's just going to hit your entire team over and over again with that Sleight of Fist. Potentially something like a Silence could be pretty good as well. I feel like that might even be a better option, like a long duration Silence. Maybe they go a Night Stalker here for that. That's a possibility as well. But yeah, it does kind of feel like they are missing some piece of their kit. The thing that I do like about the potential for another sort of big teamfighty thing is that they are still potentially going to have trouble dealing with the Witch Doctor ulti as well, and being able to find him is really a big thing, because if they play their cards right out of ESB, they should be the ones initiating consistently with the Batrider, as long as they're able to keep an eye on the Treant Protector throughout the course of the game. So if they're not able to find that Witch Doctor in the early stages, the Cask is going to destroy them, the Death Ward as well, and Phoenix is going to be the pickup. So a different type of teamfight ulti, going to be trying to slow that attack speed and generally make everybody's life a living hell.
Well, I mean, I actually kind of would have liked to see the Silencer that you brought up before. Of course, the ultimate is on a rather long cooldown, but it would have kind of made it so that even if the lasso comes out between the global silence and then the living armor of the Treant, it would have been highly likely that the target will survive at least the duration of the lasso and then maybe gets a few spells off himself. But Phoenix can also be nice, more wombo to the combo, I suppose, there. But ESB, their last pick about to come, they, I suppose, need a safe laner now.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I could see them running the Ember Spirit in the safe lane also. The thing that I'm a little bit worried about is that for Aspera, the lanes aren't necessarily weak, but they're not as strong as ESB, and the Mirana is actually going to come out. So interesting. Pharaoh going to pick that one up. A lot of versatility with this draft right now. There's so many heroes that you don't often see. I'm really excited about this. And here comes the crash.
Yeah. I was just also like, oh, is it only me? But from what I heard, the first time crash is 100% every observer.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those things where you sort of wonder to yourself, all right, Valve, is there anything at all that we can possibly do to make this work? And apparently not at this point in time. No big deal at all, though. Everybody has been more than willing and understanding to usually we see the game paused out and, you know, a little bit of not a ton of action in the early stages. So it's kind of okay, I feel like.
I mean, it's if it only happened once, it would be fine, but the first time for me, it happened 4 times.
Oh my god.
It's like, yeah, this ain't fun. But I'm back in the game at least, and we might already see some action going on. Batrider, he hasn't picked up a skill, so with the Firefly, should be able to escape. But then again, Rocket Barrage, can they get the Shackles? They can! It might be first blood. There's the lead sheet, and I think the slow is just gonna be enough to get the kill. And indeed, Gyrocopter RMN picks it up.
Very nicely done there. Just textbook wraparound, able to find that Batrider as he was moving on over into the jungle. Absolutely wonderful. Couple of disconnects here. We can take a look at some of the item builds while we're waiting here, or maybe just introduce the players. Got Roger here for Aspera, who's going to be playing that Shadow Shaman. Our Zeke is going to be on the Treant Protector. We got RMN on the Gyrocopter. Undershock is going to be playing the Legion Commander. And last but not least, Afterlife over here on that offlane Phoenix.
And for ESB, Pharaoh will be playing the Mirana with Mowgli on the Ogre Magi, Fozzy, the Ember Spirit, Erich Sun on the Witch Doctor, and the last one is the Dead Batrider played by Fake God.
Fake God. Interesting. So Mirana here does look to be going like she's going to be farming the safe lane. Usually I feel like if you see a Mirana roaming, she ends up picking up a couple of clarities. So to me, the lanes are looking like we're going to be having the Batrider in the off lane, Mirana safe lane with that Ember Spirit mid. What do you think about the Mirana in the safe lane?
It's not the greatest of farmers in general, but I think they must be expecting it to be up against the Phoenix, and I don't think Phoenix should have too much kill potential unless Mirana like completely misplays it. But then again, if the Mirana is mostly solo with Witch Doctor and Ogre Magi just roaming around trying to go for kills on other lanes, then again Phoenix is also gonna get some pretty nice farm probably, just because I highly doubt Mirana can completely bully out the Phoenix by herself.
Yeah, I know what you mean here. And I do think, though, that with all of the stuns in this lane, if they're able to land one, that's a really good setup for an arrow. And I think that, you know, a decently distanced arrow should be able to take out Afterlife. I would imagine at level 2 for Mirana, she's going to be able to probably kill, being able to pick up Starstorm as well as Sacred Arrow if there's a sort of follow-up there from Mowgli as well as the Witch Doctor. But we'll see if that is indeed what they want to go for. Bot lane, kind of back and forth. The Gyrocopter is a very strong laning hero, and Batrider can definitely punish those supports who don't have the highest move speed, and we'll have to see how Treant Protector and Shadow Shaman fare in this lane.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman though does already have boots, even started with that. Of course, so does Gyro, so if they catch somebody, Gyro is gonna be there just that much faster. And well, Treant, it's just so hard to bring him down to begin with. But we do get Unpost finally, and well, no surprise in the lanes, I suppose, for now. We predicted the Legion to go into the mid lane as it is, as he probably will. But Afterlife, getting an Ignite into him. Are they? No, they can't dive this possibly, can they? Paralyzing Cask, forcing out the Icarus dive, which I guess isn't that bad, plus lots of regen that the Phoenix has to use now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He does look like he wants to try and save that salve for a little bit later on, which makes a decent amount of sense. Want to be able to trade with that salve, not just have to regen back up to full off of it. So I will also mention that I've seen Undershock play this Legion Commander a couple of times. Do have Mowgli rotating on in to mess with him a little bit, and it's been really impressive. He's been a real beast with this hero, sort of consistently. Oh my god, the deny Mowgli. Ogre Magi, just fearless here in this mid lane.
Yeah, he didn't even care about just going into tower range, and he just keeps on trading those blows. And if the Radiant Creep Wave wasn't coming, I think the Ogre Magi would have just stayed a little bit longer, just get a few more punches in, but it's definitely serving its purpose as it is, just giving a little bit of breathing space to the Ember Spirit. Already has 3 last hits, and he even started with a poor man's shield.
Yeah. He wants to make sure that he doesn't end up taking all of that extra damage there. Legion doesn't have that, just with the Stout Shield, the 2 Tangos, and the Iron Branch. Expecting to see a bottle here in the near future, so that way she can continue to spam this out. I do think that this matchup probably favors Undershock a good deal, because Ember kind of has to stand in the creep wave the whole time, and if he's able to get off the overwhelming odds right at the start of that, a little bit of action here at this beginning, Undershock really needs to stay here so that way she doesn't end up taking any damage from the Searing Chains. This is going to end up being a really close one. Is he going to be able to get the kill? Yes, Ember Spirit gets the Searing Chains off and kills Legion Commander.
That Flame Guard was completely underestimated by the Legion Commander. It was active for so long as well. I'm not too sure if he tried to like outlive the duration of the Flame Guard and then go for the overwhelming odds, but even if he did, didn't really work out for him, and well, that's kind of an easy kill for the Ember Spirit, and that is also his bottle being delivered and the Invis Rune just being safeguarded as well. So Ember Spirit having a nice time for now, which, well, cannot be said for the Batrider. He has gotten some XP, but isn't even level 2 yet, and it's probably not going to get too much better anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a tough lane, definitely. I think that pretty much consistently he's going to have to beware of this Shackles. It's only level 1, but it still has that 2.75 duration. Firefly is enacted now, so definitely needs to be careful this next time around. We do see mid lane again, Moogly just continuing to mess with Undershock here, trading blows continuously. And he can't approach the creep wave at this point. Ignite is back up again. They might just opt to dive this potentially. No, not going to do it. Undershock tossing out that overwhelming odds and is going to be fine.
I mean, you have 3 armor when you're Legion Commander. Ogre has 8. Well, I guess Legion has a little bit more damage, but it's like you're fighting into 8 armor on a level 1 hero. That is just... It's mental. It shouldn't be like that. Oh, Fake Kato, he's coming into the mid lane. Sticky Napalm, once onto Undershock. But he can't really dive it by himself, or can he? Well, he's gonna go for it, or is he? Nope, gives up, press the attack, removes, purges those sticky napalms, but Batrider, he's just trying to look for anything, because bottom lane is kind of a watch for him, so at what point do you think Batrider should just solely focus on jungling?
Well, I think he needs a couple more levels. He certainly needed at least 1 level in Sticky Napalm, and even that's going to become very, very difficult.
Oh, look at Roger! Shadow Shaman!
Oh my goodness, is he going to get him? Ether Shock at the end! Oh, he dove deep for that one. That is beautiful. You always love to be able to see that one, and I don't think Fozzie's going to catch him. I think he's just going to have to run out of lane here. Oh, he went back the other direction. That's a problem. The Invis Rune is going to end up running down the Shadow Shaman. I think he would have been safe if he would have gone the other way.
I'm not entirely sure, it's because the movement speed difference was 25, I believe, so might have been run down anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least waste a little bit more time, if nothing else, in all honesty. But still, that dive plus... I'm not sure if it was just a glitch or something, but I'm pretty sure I saw 2 TPs to the tier 2 tower, and them being immediately cancelled as well.
Ooh. Yeah, that's frustrating. If you did have to do that, obviously the TP gold ended up getting, a little bit of a buff, but not a huge deal still. Roger here is going to just refill up the Legion Commander bottle. So one little small benefit to him. We are going to see Fozzie come forward again. Just a little bit of extra pressure there onto Undershock. Really, really dangerous here in this lane. The jump forward is going to go instead for Roger, but there is the press the attack to make sure he's able to get away. Again, Ignite down on top of Undershock. He's taking a lot of damage. There is the Fire Blast as well. Shackles on top of Moogly, but he is not going to dive anytime soon. Never mind, there's the Aftershock to finish him back off. The armor was pretty good, but the magical damage still a bane for that Ogre Magi.
The TPing in of Charcopter ended up being completely useless just because, well, the hero died literally the moment that the Charcopter arrived to the Edershock. Edershock, of course, is one of the higher nuking damage spells as well, at least on level 1 already, 140 damage. Of course, 200 on level 2, definitely not too shabby either. So far, I have to say, in general, Shadow Shaman's been doing a really great job. He's been a part of every single kill that Aspera has gotten.
Yeah, really great play, really good rotations, the dive deep for the kill as well. It's been going really well so far for Aspera. And the other thing here, if you compare the levels right now, Batrider level 4, Phoenix level 5, and that is a relatively recent pickup of level 4, I believe, by the Batrider as well. So a whole level ahead is this Phoenix here, and I think that probably part of that is just I wouldn't have expected this lane down bot to go as well as it has gone for Aspera. I really thought that there was going to be more kill potential up in the top lane, but because the Ogre Magi has been sort of sitting mid a lot, there hasn't really been able to be that kill potential up top.
Yeah, it's the sacrifices you need to make, kind of, and landing in arrow without any setup is definitely gonna be hard, like almost impossible. And even with the paralyzing cask, it's just not enough with the 1 second stun on the first bounce, and even if it does bounce back, usually Phoenix would have the time to just step to the side a little bit and dodge the arrow at least before the paralyzing cask comes back or something like that. So far, do you think it's even been worth it? I mean, Undershock, yes, he died earlier on once, but now he has 2 assists, still has his bottle, 18 lasted, so not doing all that bad on the Legion Commander. So, has Ogre Magi sitting in the mid lane been worth it?
Well, it's a tough thing to think about because it's really going to depend, I think, upon what this Ember Spirit does with the space that he's been given. You know, he's level 6 right now. He's about even with the Legion Commander. If he's able to make his presence felt across the map, start making kills happen, I think definitely. I think that part of the reason that you do this is to ensure that the Ember Spirit is able to get up to this level where he's able to start making kills happen. Once he gets that level in Sleight of Fist at some point in time here in the near future, probably around level 8, I'd imagine, he's going to have a really long range initiation ability with the Fire Remnant, as well as being able to Sleight of Fist and Searing Chains afterwards. So I think that situationally, there is a potential here that it could have been worth it. As for now, I mean, the other thing here is Mirana hasn't been having a bad time either. She's got 24 last hits and 4 as well. So you sort of have to compare how well the Ember is going to do in the near future to how well the Phoenix is going to do. Because essentially what you're trading off here is Phoenix having a good lane for Ember having a good lane.
Well, it's probably better, I would say. Oh, arrow just dodged so slightly by Afterlife. But at least ESB, they're attempting it, if nothing else. Now, 1 set of Fire Spirits missed, but quite a bit of damage done onto Mirana with the help of the tower there, of course. But I would definitely be more afraid of the Ember Spirit. Oh, Fake God! Oh, what a TP. I don't think Roger can get in range, or can he? I don't think they have the vision at the moment.
Yeah, it's not looking like they quite do. If you take a look at the, I think you press F2, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't quite have vision of him, so hopefully they're going to be able to get it. I don't think they're going to get into range to be able to see it. There's nothing that they have to be able to create that. He's almost out from the TP. So really nicely done there by Fake God.
Well, even if he does TP out to safety, it still means that he's not getting XP, he's not getting farm. Nobody's really been stacking the jungle for him at all. Well, there's 1 stack in the medium camp, but I think that's about it. Yes. So there's not even like a comeback mechanic, so to say, to like suddenly get a fast blink dagger. Otherwise, Ember Spirit being like level 6 plus, Batrider being level 6 and with a blink dagger, they could definitely just turn the pace of the game around completely just with that blink dagger. But if Aspera's Legion Commander gets that blink dagger first, they might just be able to like snowball with it.
Yeah, certainly is a possibility. And I think that I will say that I actually have seen Undershock on this Legion Commander. I think that I saw him go Midas one game, which was a little bit crazy. But it was a game that went really, really long distance. And they think that they actually ended up losing that game, believe it or not. But despite the fact, I think that he has a lot of different options. Blink Dagger, I would say, probably is the best option for him to go for. Ooh, a lot of a battle going on here. Fozzie gets caught up. There's the duel on top of him. This might actually end up being a kill. This would be huge if they're able to get it. That's dual damage as well as a dead Ember Spirit. Really, really huge. 4-man rotating for that kill.
Yeah, definitely worth it though. Just, first of all, you want to start stacking up the dual damage as early as possible. And although you don't steal damage from the enemy, well, thank God for that. Oh, Afterlife in some trouble, and that's gonna be an easy leap into Starstorm. That was a little bit unexpected, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I didn't think that he was going to be able to get that. That looked really, really easy. I guess, people don't play Mirana that often anymore. It's easy to underestimate how strong the Starstorm can be. 225 damage times 2. That's a big old nuke there onto the Phoenix.
Yeah, and Phoenix he wasn't expecting it either, because he was like, oh, what am I gonna do now? I think he was a little bit too low on mana as well to even Supernova, so, now top lane, Undershock, he goes in, he gets the duel mid-lip as well. Should be an easy kill, but can they win the duel before it expires? No, they cannot, but with the Fire Spirits, well, they get the kill, but at least no duel damage was given.
Yeah, definitely, and it looks like they're going to chase after this Witch Doctor here as well. One more right click, that's going to be enough. The Legion Commander ends up taking him down. Maledict, certainly not enough damage to tick the Legion down. And in the mid lane now, our Zeke is keeping an eye on Mowgli a little bit. I'm not sure if they're going to try and initiate onto this, but certainly is a possibility for it. He reveals himself a little bit here, I believe. Does he actually see each other? They don't see each other here, despite the fact that they're right next to each other. There's the Nature's guys yet again. Mowgli's still in the area. Oh, I thought he was going to try and body block him, but it looks like they're going to be content to just leave it alone for now. Well, Undershock coming back in the other way. He doesn't want to duel Ogre.
Yeah, he was dueling him without the ability earlier on, and he wasn't enjoying it, but then again, are they really going to attempt it? I mean, Arseek, especially being as low on mana as he is, he wouldn't be able to do anything, and now suddenly 3 heroes are there. Undershock pressed the attack a little bit prematurely. Where are the stuns? They're waiting for it. Slows and... what? That was so weird. They just let him get away.
Ooh, duel on top of the Batrider. That's going to end up being a kill off to the side. And meanwhile, the Ember Spirit takes out the Treant Protector. Afterlife still here. Does Supernova going to be able to do a good amount? Are they going to be able to kill Mowgli? I don't think they can kill this in time. There's the stun on top of Fozzie. Phoenix takes out the Ogre Magi. And meanwhile, the Legion takes out the Witch Doctor on the backside. And Gyrocopter kills the Ember Spirit. 4 heroes dead for a Treant Protector. Goodness gracious, ESB.
Not only that, I mean, I'm not too sure if they got the tier 1 tower bottom before, or if it was Shadow Shaman just getting it mid-fight or something like that, but that was almost as disastrous as could have been for ESB. I mean, yes, they get the 1 kill on the Treant, but if you'd ask Aspera if they care, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind at all. It's like, yeah, we lose 1 support hero who was like out of mana, out of health anyway, we get the tower and 3 hero kills. Or 4.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that happened there was that when Phoenix supernovaed, Ember was right next to him. Mirana moved down to hit the egg, and then the Ogre was coming over to hit the egg, but then 2 of them just didn't hit it. So because of that, like, you didn't end up getting the egg killed, and then everybody moved in close to it. So a little bit of miscommunication potentially ended up paying this time around. Ooh, Fozzie potentially in a little bit of trouble. No, not going to opt to do it with Ogre Magi coming in. Arzeek is going to have to back out as well.
Oh, top lane though. Just caught the tail end of that. Cooldown was used as well, Otterman. He doesn't get the kill to his own name, but, well, he already has 4 plus 4 assists Afterlife. He was the one to get it with the Fire Spirits, I believe. And, well, Phoenix is definitely going for a Midas. It's really the most standard build on Phoenix, just Tranquil Boots into Midas.
I do love also, though, picking up the urn. I think that it makes a big difference. Ooh, arrow coming close to hitting that Gyrocopter. Thankfully not going to have it happen this time around. It does look like Ogre Magi wants to come on up and try and fight a little bit here. Multiple heroes TPing into this area. We do still have Supernova up on the Gyrocopter. Snakes are up for the Shadow Shaman as well. Call Down is about to be back up as well. So lots of damage coming on in. There's the Icarus Dive into the sun one more time. They're just going to walk away from this one, I believe, but Witch Doctor at least should fall with the Gyrocopter. Chasing in Death Ward coming down. He actually almost was able to get that one. Nicely done. Jumping forward again. Duel on top of Mowgli. He's going to be able to get away from this one. Shackles down as well, though. That's going to be a sleight of fist down one more time. Able to get Arzeek away from that. And he's going to actually not get hit by the Fire Remnant either. There's the Leech Seed Sunray coming out as well. That got a recent buff. Oh, arrow on top of RMN. It looks like they're going to try and disengage at this point in time.
Well, another duel that didn't end up with a win. So that's still something for ESB, although them just losing the fights as hard as they are, it's definitely not good, but you can find like minor silver linings anywhere. And they might even get another kill. Fuzzy, he's out of remnants though, but he gets that sleight of his searing change. The arrow will follow up. Nicely dodged, but I think Roger is still gonna go down.
Yeah, there's the Fire Blast. The Sunray is going to do everything it can to try and keep him alive, but at the end of the day, just not quite enough there to be able to keep him alive. They do have a lot of sort of sustain on their lineup. I mean, you take a look, you got Sunray, you've got Treant Protector, the armor coming out from it, you've got Press the Attack, all of these things that are going to help keep your team alive, but unfortunately just not able to be quite enough this time around.
But then again, it is still once again only a support loss, plus Gyrocopter farming up all the while in the mid lane. Although he might overstay his welcome here. Fuzzy, he's coming in. One Searing Chase might be the end of RMN. Oh no, counter engage, Hex comes out. They didn't get the follow-up just because he was stunned in return now. Lasso was used, but Press the Attack keeps him alive. Overwhelming goes to get the kill, call down onto 2. The duel this time around, can they kill Ogre? They probably can. Ericsson, he's doing a lot of damage with the Death Ward, but it's only a level 1 Death Ward and he's gonna go down to the Sunray. And another disaster.
Yeah, that was really nice of Afterlife. We do see Pharaoh get caught in the entangle. He might be in a little bit of trouble. The Blink Dagger is up on Undershock. Are you kidding me? Body blocks right now. The slow as well. Pharaoh is so sad. Is going to end up getting taken out there in the end. Fozzie's in the area as well. No duel for another 22 seconds at this point in time. But it looks like they're dropping the snakes on down on this tier 1 tower mid. And they're going to be able to take it.
It's just Aspera, they're playing so nicely on like an individual and the team level both, like just jumping in front of somebody, body blocking, knowing that you yourself don't even need to focus on the damage, that if you just block him, the slows, the stuns will follow and the others will catch up. And, well, Afterlife, is he gonna find something else now? He just wants to use his Midas, but he's gonna go for the Supernova. Fuzzy should be fine with Flame Guard, and I think that was a little bit too ambitious.
Oh my goodness, almost explodes there at the end. Batrider does end up getting the kill, but Gyrocopter on the other side takes out the Ember Spirit. Roger in a little bit of trouble now, needs to be careful. Arrow doesn't hit because of all of the slows, and it looks like he is going to content himself to his fate and then just end up dying. Really diving deep for this one, but you mentioned it. Aspera is looking really strong in this game. I haven't seen them play this well before. They've been playing well throughout the tournament, but they look to be almost like on another level here. Consistently exactly where they need to be, casting the spells to make the most of them, and very impressed in this game so far.
So it's safe to say they have a pretty solid advantage, nearly an 8k network lead, XP around 6,000. But RMN on the Gyrocopter, he went for a Shadow Blade. Why do you think that is? Is he building it into the Silver Age? But is it necessary?
I don't think so. But then again, these are very professional players. They know what they're doing a lot. The flip side, the thing that's kind of cool about it to some extent is that, you know, it is going to be able to come out of nowhere. You're not going to be able to sort of anticipate it. And I guess the other thing is it maybe puts a little bit more pressure on these supports to buy reveal. So that kind of sucks because they're both not greedy necessarily. Mowgli can kind of do what he wants. It does help a lot if you can get those items, but yeah.
Since Aspera have a Treant, you kind of need to get detection anyway, so it's like getting double invis is sometimes weird. Oh, they get the Ogre Magi Overgrowth, I think. No, wasn't used yet, but it's just too low on mana or Seek Armendo. Where's the cooldown? Now it comes, gonna hit all 5 heroes, you kidding me, right? Black Cannon, Rocket Barrage, Armend still alive somehow. They get 2 kills, they lose the Phoenix, but that's an okay trade, of course. They're gonna lose the Gyrocopter now as well, but not before he does a hell of a lot of damage. Living Armor, what is that ability?
It's so freaking strong. He was staying alive forever. Unfortunately, does end up going down in the end. So they lose 3-4-2. At the same time, though, up in the top lane, they took down the tier 2 tower. Undershock is getting so much value in this game, waiting for his opportunity to potentially take somebody out. Is going to jump forward and duel Fozzie. This is probably not going to be dual. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Dual damage abound. Undershock's going to be able to get that one. I don't know if he's going to be able to live. Press the attack not for another 2 seconds. No. Ends up getting with one last club there with the bloodlusted Ogre Magi. Going to be able to chase him on down, and you know, I'll say you are ahead. It's tough to trade away evenly when you're ahead because if you trade heroes, there's still that comeback mechanic. But if you get the dual damage, it's almost worth it for the Legion because she's one of the only heroes in Dota that scales infinitely.
It's still, I think, a little bit of sloppy plays by Aspera, like the bottom fight, for example. They could have easily still had Legion Commander and Shadow Shaman TP, just leave the Mass Serpent Wards on the tier 2 and at least have one of them come down. Preferably the Legion Commander just duel somebody would have been easy kills because they were so low, but... I mean, like you said, he did get the dual damage. Kind of lucked out with the moment of courage there, the last attack just before it would have expired otherwise, but they are looking good. What are they gonna do with their advantage? What items are they gonna go for? I mean, Shadow Shaman, I believe, yes, is so damn close to his Blink Dagger, and that's gonna be a huge advantage. And oh, runs into Mirana. There's the Hex. Shackles to follow, and Mirana, what you doing there?
Not having a good time is going to finally go down with that last overwhelming odds proc. We do see Ogre Magi. Apparently he came on in as well. This is going to be a problem. He's separated from the rest of the team, waiting for the dual damage to come on out. Is it going to actually be there? Ericsson is in a little bit of trouble as well. Is going to be able to just try and Healing Ward away. The Courier goes down also, and it looks like they're going to try and chase here again. Maybe going to be able to find the Bat Rider. He is stuck up on the cliff, so in a second here we might see the Legion Commander jump on up top to try and get the duel off. Instead, just going to follow Mowgli here. Nice blade mail one time. He doesn't have enough mana. This is a very, very dead Ogre Magi.
Well, they have the duel as well. They definitely want to just get that free damage, because that's exactly what it was, free damage. There was no way the Ogre is going to escape there. So they get the kill, they get the damage, and well, the lane isn't quite pushed up far enough, so they can't really go for the tier 2, but they could go for the Roshan. They have Mass Serpent Wards.
Yeah, definitely, if they wanted to, and it looks like that is what they're going to be doing here. The Treant Protector armor one time, it's going to come down with a quickness here. We do also, is that a medallion, or what's the minus armor that's coming out from them? Oh, medallion on tree, yeah, so they do have the medallion. It makes it a little bit easier. Obviously, it got nerfed in the last patch, but still great for that. Roshan right now does have 4 armor, so not bad.
So that's going to be Aegis picked up by... Well, what?
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 Okay.
That is not the target I expected to pick it up.
I think Aspera is feeling very confident. In this
Undershock
game
was
right
like,
now.
oh, I don't want to drop my Quelling Blade, I need it to farm. I don't know. Gyrocopter was full on... It's like, TP is too valuable. Give it to the Treant. I guess you can be a little bit like more ballsy with just going in deep, setting up the overgrowth with the cooldown follow-up or something, but it's just a little bit weird.
Afterlife just denied an Undershock DD rune as
Oh,
well.
top lane, they get the duel onto Fuzzy. Oh, poor Ember Spirit, just Shadow Shaman. Maybe was a little bit low on mana, but blinked in, Hex, Shackles to follow up. So hard to do anything against that.
They're just messing around at this point, honestly. Afterlife just denied an Undershock a DD rune, and then Undershock dropped his Blink Dagger on the ground. And the Phoenix tried to do it. It looks like Pharaoh is going to end up dying here in just a second. 1-2 right click, maybe a leech seed's going to be enough to get the kill. Is he actually going to survive through this? Looks like he's going to. Death Ward down, Aegis just expiring now
Worth
for the
it.
Treant Protector. It looks like Mowgli might end up paying for it a little bit here as well. Nature's Guys one time, and is going to maybe try and reinitiate. Does end up getting hit by the stun there. Gyrocopter Shadowbladed up, ready to fight here. They don't quite get the vision of the Treant Protector. Ericsson in a little bit of trouble. Is going to get chased down as well. We do have Phoenix coming in. Mowgli now getting chased also. Ember Spirit's coming in just a second, but honestly, if he sticks around too much longer, he's just going to end up dying, I feel like. Oh, no, yeah, all right, they're going to end up backing on out. No, he's going back in. This is a problem. Fozzie in a little bit of trouble. Is going to end up getting chased away. No, with the Flame Guard, he's going to be fine. Maybe? Why are they reinitiating into this? There's the press the attack one more time. Ends up getting hexed into a sheep. Sunray out one more time, and there's the shackles. I don't know if Ember should have reinitiated there.
I think the only answer is no. That's how easy it is. Maybe he was like, yeah, Shadow Shaman isn't around and duel was just used, so I'm gonna be fine. Undershock, just... Oh man. That was bait. Living armor, all just... Everything keeping them alive. They get another kill. I'd like to say that this is really nearing the GG territory where ESB, they're like, okay, Legion Commander's getting a crazy amount of damage. He's up to 76, 90 now even. Well, we have an Aghanim Spat Rider at least.
Oh, all right, there we go. We got the new item before Blink Dagger, interestingly enough. Not sure if that's the play at all, but it's going to bring Undershock back on into the fountain, and that ends up being a kill. Only 368 gold split. I guess that's between everybody, though, so pretty good. Armen in a little bit of trouble now here as well. Is going to end up getting the sticky napalm stacks on him, as well as flame break and everything else in a fine, fun way. Fozzie jumping forward again. Is he going to be able to catch and kill here? Looks like he's at least going to be able to find Afterlife. Drums popped as well. They're chasing after Arzik. He's dusted up. He's in a little bit of trouble and does end up getting taken down there by the Ogre Magi. But the snakes in your base, that's going to be some dead racks.
You know, Charco, of course it's hard to say, but he got away thanks to the movement speed of the Mask of Madness. But oh, there's the Death Ward. Afterlife in some trouble, but Call Down comes in return. Afterlife using the Dagon, just zapping down the Witch Doctor. Oh, this game, I have a feeling that it's not gonna be over in the next 5 minutes, but it's gonna be clowny as all hell.
Yeah, it's looking like one more sleight of fist is going to take out the Phoenix. We also see RMN here taking down Moogly really, really quickly here. So much damage coming out. Is he going to be able to out DP up this one? No. Aftershock as well is doing a lot. Now we've got Fake God. Lasso's back up in 6 seconds. Pharaoh ends up getting Shackles on up. That's going to be one more right click for the kill. Roger goes down as well. Double kill for the Bat Rider. Really, really solid. And Legion trying to find her way on into a duel victory here. Is going to be able to find Pharaoh one more time. That might be the invis wearing off in a second. Oh, Undershock is just right there with her. I guess they want to reinitiate into this. They want to try and take down Undershock right now. Fake God is here. He also does have the Flaming Lasso. Ends up connecting with Fake God, though. This is a bit of a problem. Is going to end up going down. Another duel victory there for Legion Commander. Pharaoh trying to get away with a quickness, but might still end up dying nonetheless if she's not careful.
So, we do get some item upgrades after this fight. Treant picks up the Solar Crest. Battle Fury is finally, well, I say finally finished, but the timing is actually pretty decent for the Ember Spirit. It's just that the Gyro and Legion Commander are that much more farmed, but to be honest, a 22-minute Battle Fury with treads and drums first, it is completely acceptable. And oh, Afterlife just destroyed the Haste Rune, I mean, because they can.
Exactly. It's kind of their style at this point, a little bit of their MO. I don't know completely how well this is going to end up working out for the Dire here, because you're taking a look at the lineup. I really don't believe that there's almost any way that they can come back. There is still a potential here with Ember having his Battle Fury. If they really group up a ton, maybe they find a couple of pickoffs here, because their lineup is built around finding pickups. Roger pushed up onto the high ground. That's going to catch 2 of them in the Overgrowth area. Oh, Fozzie trying to make his way away. That's going to be a dual victory onto Fake God. Jumping forward again. Icarus dive into Dagon. Ember Spirit's dead as well. The sun comes down, ends up hitting Undershock, and it looks like Afterlife is going to be able to be surviving through that. Witch Doctor ulti, it was bold. It was bold.
That is just such a good word for it, man. Bold. Well, that's gonna be the second set of racks, and ESB, I'm not too sure if you can applaud their willingness to just keep on going, or maybe it would be just better to tap out and like focus on the next game.
Yeah, potentially. Maybe they're, you know, not feeling comfortable with their chances, and they just want to have some fun throughout these next couple of games here. It's got to be said, I liked the whole drafting setup that we had there. A lot of really cool drafting heroes that you don't often see. And because of that, it was a fun game. I really enjoyed this game and the way that it's been going. It's felt always consistently like Aspera's ahead, but not to the point where it's unfun. That's another duel on top of the Witch Doctor. He's going to end up going down. Dagon, Fake God trying to do everything he can. Look at the damage coming out. Legion did die to the Mirana, but is going to buy back as well. Looks like we're going to have our Zeke getting a little bit of extra damage there as well. Is Roger going to be able to get a kill here? Aftershock onto one more. One more right click is going to be enough. He ends up going down as well to the Legion Commander Blade Mail. She was standing in Firefly and that killed him. Are you kidding me?
That's how they go. Oh, Undershock gets stunned up under the tier 4. They might get another kill. Yes, with Ember Spirit coming in. So they're just delaying out the game, but they're getting some pretty nice kills.
Yeah, that was a dieback by the Legion. Not really anything to sneeze at here. Afterlife in a little bit of trouble as well. I don't think that they're going to be able to turn this back around, but certainly you're sort of thinking for Aspera at this point in time. You got to be a little bit careful at least. You still have a gyrocopter in this game that's doing really well though. So Mirana dies for her synth. They're not going to be able to get the dust off onto the gyrocopter. Tier 4s are being pushed in. That one's going to go down. And now the Ancient's exposed. Our Zeke is still here. If he wants to in a couple seconds, he could just overgrowth and let the creeps kill him out for the ending. And it looks like the Mr. Roger is going to be fine to come on there and drop the snakes in a second. GG gets called by Pharaoh. Really nicely played.
Yeah, Aspera definitely just showing dominance here. Really well played, executed. Well, I wouldn't say perfectly just because they did a couple of weird things, but they definitely never gave it away up until the point that they like allowed the enemy team to come back. They always had the lead. Yes, they gave away a few kills, but even sometimes when the trade wasn't 100% favorable, they at least got a trade all the time.
Yeah, and it looked like they were having fun, you know? So that's always the best way to be playing Dota, I feel like. You play the best when you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, maybe they also just got the heroes that they're like extremely comfortable with. Shadow Shaman early on, just making things happen. Of course, the entire game started with a high note for them, getting that first blood onto the Batrider who just wanted to come in and ward something. But, well, what can we say? This was only game number 1 though, so who knows? Game number 2 might go just the other way around completely.
Absolutely. Really, really cool. Excited for that one.
So yeah, we are going to be back hopefully within only a couple of minutes. And of course, as always, thanks for tuning in. Hope you have enjoyed it so far. And like I said, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.